All right, welcome back to another week of the MVP podcast. We brought Katie on today, this is coming from a person who is so distant from social media. She kind of inspired me to get more active on social media. She gave
I'm so excited.
I know. This is Natasha's world right here.
I am so excited.
She gave so many just basic tips.
Yeah.
And she didn't get all the secrets out, but we left all the contact information so you get in contact with her after listening to this. But just the little tips she gave were just got my thoughts going on what I need to do better in terms of social media and getting you content that you can put it out. Because it's definitely one of my downsides.
Marcus is a little gerbil on a treadmill right now. I can see his brain nonstop.
I know. But no, it's fascinating. So we're going to jump into the show. We'll bring her on.
Yep.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, Katie. Glad to have you here. Thanks for spending the time to come out on a Friday to share the world of social media with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. This will be fun talking social media. I love social media.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to learning about it because I don't know if Natasha's shared with you. I don't touch it.
Marcus is very standoffish with it.
Yeah, I trust Natasha with what she does with social media, and I am hands off.
That's okay. We still like you.
Well, this will be fun.
No, it definitely will be. So the question I always start out the show with is, tell me more about yourself, your background, and what in your past experiences led you to where you are now in this kind of facet or in social media.
Well, believe it or not, I thought that I was going to be the next Erin Andrews. I went to college to become a sports journalist. Football is my jam.
Oh,
I love football and talking about it. And it's been a rough year. I like the quarterbackless Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's been rough since Peyton left town. We kind of had that quarterback carousel going around, but.
Yep.
I love football, and I actually wanted to be a color analyst for football, but on the radio side. So I went to school at a Division II college. I played softball in college, and being at that smaller school, one, I could play collegiate, be a collegiate athlete, but two, I was able to work at the college radio station, and then again, that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to be in the radio world, and I was offered a lot of opportunities there. So while at the radio station, in addition to being on air, I also was the sports director, the news director, and one of the many music directors. And back then, without making myself sound too old, the big thing for social media was MySpace.
Oh yeah.
So again, I was really big into MySpace.
I think everybody knew Tom. Yeah.
and the thing too, so I was really for MySpace. The reason I was so into it because it was one of the newer social media platforms. But two, if you remember, Facebook used to just be for colleges and universities, and you had to have that .edu email address to sign up, and which I did. I mean, at our it's Brinkley or something at fortlewis.edu, but it still didn't recognize it as a legit college for some reason. So I couldn't have a Facebook, and I was so mad about it. But without going too far down this rabbit hole, I was able to really connect with a lot of bands through MySpace and get them to send us their CDs, send us their music. And that's when I kind of really realized the power of social media, because I was really the only one that was using social media as an outlet to try and get all this free music. And I started creating connections with these artists. And I would be like, hey, do you want to come on the air with me when I'm on? And it's I was one of the only ones that was getting actual top tier musicians to come on the air for the radio station. And this was, again, it's a college radio station, so it didn't really have a ton of budget. Everything had to be done for free. And so I was able to get these big names on, and I started learning about the power of social media then, but I never really thought of it as a job. Fast forward, graduated from college, got a job doing sports journalism at a radio station, and it was not what I thought it was going to be. So I was like, okay, well, maybe if I move to a smaller market, I can get more airtime. I was working like 6 hours one week, 60 the next, and I just wasn't happy. So I was still doing social media for the bands. I was still keeping in touch with a lot of bands and trying to get there, but I was on the band side of it. So I was pushing their music out to different stations and kind of doing promoting for them through social media. And in return, I was getting backstage passes whenever they'd come through Denver.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and again, life kind of took me down some weird path. I was a flight attendant for a while while I was trying to find my next radio gig, and fast forward 7 years, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for 7 years. So I quit being a flight attendant and got a job doing social media and marketing for the local TV station that broadcasts all the Utah Jazz, Colorado Rockies, Vegas Golden Knights games. And so I was doing their social media and marketing and media buys for them. And I did that for a while, and then branched out on my own because social media is really a real thing now, where you can make a living doing it for different brands and companies and for yourself. And I took that and ran with it. So I've been doing social media for the home industry now for 4 years, and but been in the social media scene for about 15 now.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Side note, I always wanted to be a flight attendant. I am so jealous.
It was fun. It was a great job to have in my 20s, like without kids or anything. And I got to go see the entire country. It's been 26 hours in Cancun and just get paid to be on the beach. It was fantastic for my 20s. So I don't regret it now, but it definitely was a big detour in my professional journey.
That's funny.
But it might help you. It might have helped. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like moving around, seeing the world. Now you got it out of the way, and then you can focus on your career. Trying to make a good spin out of it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it definitely helped too, because I was able to learn how to, I guess, on the social media side, deal with the trolls, the people that want to come in there and give you a negative comment, and how to answer those kind of negative comments and stuff. So it was great to have that job, just so I could learn to have a thicker skin for the customer service side of things on social media. Yeah.
I know that didn't they just make it on Facebook that if you change your name, you need a federal issued ID card or something like that? Aren't they cracking down?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so for me, and
so
since I do so many ads, it's if you have an ID and you're attached to it, it's easier for you to run ads. Especially too, in the political realm or in the special ads categories. If you have a federal ID attached to it, then you get stuff approved very, very quickly, as opposed to sometimes now, especially with COVID, stuff can sometimes take 48 hours or 72 hours if you don't have that government ID attached to your profile.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know how that all worked, because none of my social media accounts are my actual name, as my protest of not being out there. I don't know why I'm weird with it.
What do you mean?
My Instagram is I can't even say, maybe I'll get some followers. It's Forky123, because I just made it out of the blue, and my sister was like, you need to get on Instagram. And I was like, no, I don't. So I made up a name, made up a picture. And then I heard Facebook was doing this ID thing, and I was like, well, I may have to jump off it for my personal stuff. My business stuff can stay
Don't you have one with your name on it? I'm friends with you on Facebook.
That one is for family and friends. It's super close knit.
Oh.
I have not dabbled in the social media. I dipped my toe in. So my Instagram personal one has 10 followers. It's very, very basic, which is why I'm excited to learn what it can possibly do if I do decide to dive in.
Oh man, it can do so much for you. I can't wait to tell you more.
Tell us more.
Exactly. So when you work with your clients, what type of things do you get into? I guess tell me more about that, and then we can kind of dive into those things.
What services you
offer?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So I offer done for you social media. So if you're like, I don't want to do social media, I don't like it, but I know the value of it, and I know that I need to be on it. which, believe it or not, is a very, very common thing that I hear people say. That's where I come in, and I do it for you. So I'll craft your message, I'll create all the graphics, I'll take all the images, I'll post it at the right times, I'll use the right hashtags. Everything with social media I take care of. And then I also offer, blog writing. I offer the email campaigns. So like if you want to have a weekly email that goes out, or if you want to start a landing page and have a drip email sequence to kind of build your clients and customers into a funnel. I do all that. Okay. I also offer coaching services. So that's something that kind of has taken off a lot in 2020. My 2020 goals have evolved a lot since they were a year ago. I had planned on kind of going more agency model, where I would get more done for you social media clients, where I was bringing more of those clients in and building out my team more. So right now I have, there's a team of 3 of us, and that's kind of what I was planning on growing. But when the pandemic hit, I was still doing a lot of networking. LinkedIn has been huge for me as far as networking, and that's where I was making these connections, and people were like, yeah, well, with COVID and everything, I'm home now. I feel like typically I would just pay you to do it, but now I have the time, and I'd like to learn how to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And so that's where I've started taking on one-on-one coaching clients, where I teach them how to do social media, how to read their insights, how to post at the right times, how to look at the whole picture of it and develop a strategy behind their social media so that it is bringing in new leads and bringing in new customers and sales.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I know that there's like the pay-per-click stuff on Google and those type of like analytics, but the people that know that stuff, even though I don't like social media, I know it's powerful. So that's super cool that you're into that and can actually offer that to people like me who are so standoffish and have no idea what it means.
Katie, I know that you and I had talked about like hashtags the other day when we chatted. What's some advice that you can maybe give our listeners about like how to think about hashtags, or what to do, or what words that they should think about using for their hashtags?
Well, hashtags are huge, especially on Instagram. It's a major way of searching for your topics that you might be interested in and connecting with people that you might not otherwise connect with. Again, like that's how it really worked well for me with growing the band stuff when I first started. And it's just evolved. And now, Facebook is also really trying to push hashtags out. So there's different ways to use hashtags on every single platform. On Facebook, there's a way to use hashtags. On Instagram, it's completely different. On Twitter, again, it's different. And knowing how to use the hashtags in the right way is how you're going to find new customers and new leads. So on Instagram, you can have up to 30 hashtags, and that might seem a lot and overwhelming. But what I try to teach a lot of my clients is choose like 15 set hashtags that resonate with your brand. And then from there, that's where you're going to really niche down the hashtags to what's happening in the caption of your photo and what's happening in the photo. So if it's a picture of a house, a just listed house, and you have all of your Denver realtor, Denver real estate, new home listing, all those kind of generic ones. But then that's where you can niche down and be like, okay, where is this new home listed? Let's say it's in Arvada, so you can do Arvada realtor, new homes in Arvada. So you really start getting really specific with those hashtags that are specific for the caption and the post. So that way it might have only been used by 10 other people, but now when someone goes to search that, your listing is going to show up, and that's the exact person who's looking for that type of information. Additionally, on Twitter, it definitely is a different animal, and trying to work your hashtags into the caption is what I recommend to do. Again, don't just hashtag the entire sentence. If you're, again, talking about real estate, combine Denver Realtor and use that as a hashtag. Try and use like 2 or 3 in Twitter. And then LinkedIn, 3 hashtags for every post at the very bottom. And you capitalize where the new words are. So again, capital D, capital R for Denver Realtor, hashtag your brand if you want to use that. So like for me, I use Next Step Social Communications. Whatever the most popular hashtags are for that post on LinkedIn, just choose 3 of them. So it's kind of, hashtags are, we could have an entire call just about hashtags and hashtag strategy, but they're so important, and you need to have them in every single one of your posts.
I think what you need to do is you need to make like a little cheat sheet that people can just like have it like tape on their desk and just be like, okay, this is what I do for this website. This is what I do for this website.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, like with hashtags, if you can get those like 15 good hashtags that are always going to make sense to whatever you're posting about, then it makes it so much easier to be like, okay, I just got to think of 15 more.
Yeah.
And that's where you really look at the picture that you're posting about. Like, let's say in the picture of the new home in Arvada, it's a picture of a fireplace. And then you can do like hashtag fireplace, hashtag fireplace design, hashtag brick fireplace, hashtag gas fireplace. And I mean, like, again, go down that rabbit hole of what's happening in the picture. And you'll see it just kind of starts rolling. Once you get it going, it's going to be easier to think of those quick hashtags.
So I'm going to start going down lots of rabbit holes.
Go for it. All the power to you. I remember distinctly when I was talking to my sister, because I was in the era that I couldn't get into Facebook because I wasn't in college yet. So my sister had it, and I was a few years out, and I really wanted to get on Facebook because all the older cool kids had it. And she showed me, I don't know, I might have just gotten onto Facebook when hashtags became somewhat popular. And I had no idea what this number sign was and why you had to do it. She tried explaining it, and I was like, I don't get it. And now it's evolved into what it is, and it's so powerful for viewers and contact points, I'll call them.
Well, as you say, did you know that actually was a glitch?
Really?
That happened. It was something that happened by accident, and it ended up, the Twitter ended up being like, wow, people are searching through this, and if you click on it, it's pulling up. So it actually started as a glitch, and it's, like I said before, it's totally taken off. I mean, it's the power of search now with social media. So
that's crazy.
What a good mistake for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah, because they're used on pretty much all posts now.
Yeah.
And you see them on Instagram everywhere.
They're used in conversation for.
That is true.
Because
well, and the thing is too, like hashtags on Facebook really were. It made no difference. Even 6 months ago, this is a new revelation for Facebook to really embrace the hashtag through their search, and not too many people are getting on that bandwagon yet. But I feel like if Facebook says we are going to start favoring posts that have hashtags in them, it's just like with the Super Bowl ads last year. They had how many ads Facebook did promoting their Facebook groups? Mm-hmm. So that's where I was like, okay, if they're willing to spend however much money it is on a Super Bowl ad talking about Facebook groups, that's where I need to be, because that's going to be the highest spot in the algorithm. So when Facebook tells you to do something, you do it.
Yeah.
No, that is awesome. I know that with our posts, we're getting into, we've done hashtags in the beginning. Yeah. But we've been refining them ever since, and like getting a little bit better and reading on them. And I know Natasha was talking about that cheat sheet, and the first thing that came to my head was, with the evolution of these things, it'd be so hard to put it down on ink, because I feel like by the time you put it on ink, it could change or adapt or be something different, or there's a different technique or a different algorithm. Do you think that could happen, or I guess in a crystal ball?
It can happen. I mean, I don't think that you should have the same 15 hashtags for the next 15 years. Right. But at the same time, especially in the home industry, there's some hashtags that are always going to make sense for you and what you're posting about. I have a home organizer that I do her social media for, and hashtag home organizer, hashtag organization tips. Those are always going to resonate with what we're posting about. So, again, that's where I say, like, if you have those 15 generic ones that can resonate with your audience, no matter what, choose those, and then from there, then you're only searching for 15 real new ones to add on to every post.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think that sounds really good to me.
Absolutely.
And
it's my job easier.
It's like, okay, well, you have to do the hashtags. You got to do 30. really all you got to do is 15. So once you figure out those 15 like kind of evergreen hashtags, I'm only asking you to put in 15 new ones.
All right, well, I have my homework assignment now. I'm going to go sit down and I'm going to brainstorm.
I was going to talk to that offline, but yeah. Do you, as well as on the front end of the house where you're trying to connect people through hashtags and all that, I don't know if I said that correctly, but do you go through like the analytics of each platform of why there's this many followers or this many accounts on Facebook or this many on Instagram, and this is how we use them? Do you go through analytics with your clients? Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, and some of my clients don't really care, to be honest with you, because they really don't want to have anything to do with social media. They want to focus on the business side of their company. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the home organizer, she's like, I'm booked solid. You just keep doing what you're doing. So if they don't care, then I don't typically share it with them. But mm-hmm. I look at these insights once a week, and I keep reports and push out for every 30 days. But every 7 days, things can change. And so if you're posting at the same time, month after month after month, so let's say at the very first month, Saturday nights at 6 p.m. were the best time for you to post on Facebook, and noon on Fridays was the best time on Instagram, but you'd never check your insights or never check the data, then if you could look and be like, well, man, how come this post isn't doing good anymore? And it's like, well, no one's online anymore during those hours. This happened a ton during the pandemic. Yeah. Typically, Sundays were one of the best days for my home organizing client. And during the pandemic, all of a sudden it turned to, Tuesday mornings. Mm-hmm. And it's just because people were online at different times. So you have to be going in and checking the analytics and checking your insights, because these social media platforms want you to succeed on it, because then you'll spend more time on it. And mm-hmm. so they're willing to give you the insights and the information. You have to check it. And if you're not checking it, then you're not pushing out the right content to the right audience. That's another thing that I really try to tell all my clients is give someone a reason to follow you on Facebook and Instagram. Don't just copy and paste the exact same thing to each platform. Give them a reason to follow you on both. Give them a reason to want to engage with you as much as possible. Turn them into your biggest fan. And so creating unique content for each channel. I'm not saying reinvent the wheel, but let's say you're promoting a blog post. Have a different caption for Facebook than you would on LinkedIn. You have two totally different audiences there. LinkedIn is ready to talk business. Create that same blog post, but have a business tone to it. Talk about the business aspect of that blog. Whereas on Facebook, maybe it's mostly past clients and customers, and that's where you're going to craft a message to. Oh, well, when this customer did this, you can totally change the messaging around while still using that same piece of content and pushing it out to your clients and customers.
I like it.
Yeah. Makes me feel bad because when I have to post pictures, like when I'm in the field, just same post on both platforms.
And you can have the same picture, but just like I said, try and change up the imagery a little bit. So if you, let's say you have 5 pictures on Instagram, start with the picture of you outside in front of the property, and then on Facebook you can have the picture of the beautiful kitchen or whatever that you're working on, or the new hardwood floors that you've put in. So have a different picture stand out, and then you can see which one does better. And again, like I said, craft your message going forward. Like, oh, well, Facebook loves pictures of hardwood floors, so I'm always going to post hardwood floor pictures as my first picture.
And then could you try like flip-flopping those pictures like the next week or something, and see if by chance the hardwood floors did better on Instagram and the picture outside? Okay, cool. Good to know.
Are you taking notes?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I get to listen back to this and edit it, so I will be taking notes left, right, and center.
I'm just, it's just a really good tip. Again, being so far removed from it, I didn't even think about like the cross testing of that. I appreciate you guys being here.
I know what I'm doing this week.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like I said, that's one of the most common mistakes that I see is people. Again, if it's just a blog, you can swap out the picture. it's a great way to repurpose the same blog later on the following month if you just change out the picture, change out the caption, change out the picture that's associated with it, but you can still have it direct to the same blog. Again, just there's different ways to try and capture someone's attention, and you never know what's going to resonate with your audience the most. That's another reason, too, why I always have all of my commitments, for whether it's done for you or coaching, is always 3 months, because you're never going to be able to see a ton of results just by doing 1 month. One month with somebody. You have to craft your message, see what's resonating with the audience, what they respond to, and what resonates with them the most.
Good.
Can't wait to try it. Speaking on the whole different platforms cross-posting and testing and all that, do you see one platform accelerating or growing way faster in terms of followers than the others? Is there one like standout one, or are they all kind of growing at a steady pace?
Well,
I mean, we're comparing like a 200% growth to a 300% growth, because I know I just watched the Social Dilemma, I think it was called. On Facebook,
yeah.
And they talked about how fast social media has grown in like the past 2 or 3 years.
You know what platform we haven't talked about yet? YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube is amazing for the amount of information you can get off of there.
Oh, yeah. Everyone goes to YouTube. Well, and I mean, like, and that's the thing, is Facebook is trying to rival YouTube. So
really, that's
why they have the Facebook Live feature, and all those options to do video directly from Facebook. YouTube is number one, and Facebook is number two, and Facebook wants that number one spot for video. And so, again, if you're sharing a YouTube link onto Facebook, you can expect 0 people to see it, because Facebook is going to see that YouTube link, and they are going to put it at the very basement level of their algorithm. They're like, if someone happens to come to your page and see this, then good for them, but we're not going to push this out in the feed. So always upload video natively to each social media platform. Then you're spending time on that platform watching video, again, spending more time on the platform, and that's what all these social networks want you to do.
What about podcasts? Do you need to upload those directly to Facebook too then?
No, I always upload them as a link and sending them to my website. Like, that's what I do for my podcast. One good thing to do for promoting a podcast, for my podcast, I have a podcast, Rocky Mountain Marketing. Again, it's all about social media tips and best business practices in the digital marketing space. But what I do for that is, whenever I upload a new episode, I go through a app, and I'll take like a 30 to 59 second audio clip, place it over an image, so it's actually a video, but I'll take that audio clip, place it over an image, and then it automatically is going to start playing. I have captions on it so people can read it, and if someone's sitting there reading the captions, or if they take it off the mute to listen to it, it's them spending more time essentially watching a video on the platform.
You just blew my mind.
I'm sitting across the table, and she like looked up, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is such a good idea."
That's amazing.
I'm sitting here like, I hope this makes sense to Natasha, because I got nothing. But apparently, it struck a chord with her.
It really did. I was like, "Wow, my mind is blown." That's so obvious and so right in your face, but yet I never thought of it. So thank you.
Yeah. And back to your question about what platforms do I see really growing, and TikTok is one that has totally blown up, and the pandemic definitely helped it, because people were tired of seeing the same 10 pictures of their aunt's cat. So people ventured into the TikTok space, and that's one that's really blowing up. Some businesses have done really well on it and are finding ways to connect with their audience on it. But the thing with TikTok is you need to be ready to get out there and create these videos. I can't go out and create a ton of just listed photos of of a walkthrough, or even better, of an organized cabinet. Like, I can't organize a cabinet the way that Kim can, and so she has to create those videos. And so TikTok is one that's totally blown up, but again, everyone's using social media in different ways. Facebook groups, is the new spot to be on Facebook. Business pages, unfortunately, are at the bottom of the Facebook algorithm unless you're paying, which makes sense. I mean, Facebook needs to make money too, so that's you're going to be sitting in the basement there if you're a Facebook business. But find a way to get your business page in these Facebook groups so that you can start engaging with your ideal clients and customers in the groups.
So what you're saying is Marcus needs to like start like dancing at his work sites, and we need to video it, and then we can put it on TikTok, right?
Hey, if you want the reach, Instagram Reels, you get 45 times the reach if you are on Reels. So, I mean, if you want to grow your Instagram account,
really? I don't even know what Reels are, but
it's the TikTok of Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I'll just make sure somebody records him while he's dancing away at the job site to who knows what song.
After we laid the hardwood, one of the guys used to break dance.
Oh God.
So he was like, "Oh man, I could break dance on these floors. Get a video of it." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And he also did like roller skating, but like it's like the roller skating dancing thing.
Okay.
So I was like, "All right, put your skates on. Start painting in your skates. This would be great."
That's hilarious.
Great ideas. Never did them, but those are the things that were good for. And I just got an eye roll. I was hesitant to even tell you that we had those conversations because I knew that you'd want me to do them.
I do.
So sorry, I dropped the ball on that one.
Oh boy. Anyway.
I am going through. I've got so many questions on TikTok because it's so new and I don't get it. And I've bounced idea off of my sister. She ran like this. It sounds really goofy, but she actually got like, I think it was close to 1,000 followers. She ran a candy rating, just
that's right.
TikTok, YouTube thing, where she would go to the store, buy unique candy. She would take opinions or suggestions from her audience, and then she would score them and then send out the video. That's all she did, and she kept getting followers. And I was talking to her about us as a company, putting it on TikTok for our videos. And she's like, I just don't see it working for your like real estate because the people on there, like the age group is younger, or they don't consume on TikTok in terms of like products. Like they don't buy products from TikTok. It's more for entertainment.
Well, it's one of those things where with it is the younger demographic, and it doesn't mean that they don't have money to spend though. They might not have the money to buy a new house, but I think that there are ways to make yourself profitable on TikTok, and a lot of times I worked with I was coaching some influencers who had just blown up on TikTok, and they're like, yeah, we just were dancing in videos, and now all of a sudden we have all these brands that want us to represent them. And so one of the brands that wanted them to represent was a Lululemon brand, and so they just all they had to do was wear the clothes in the videos, and then hashtag Lululemon in it. And so that's just where it can make sense if you partner the right way with influencers, or if you make it not 100% obvious. However, saying that too, there is one guy who is a dentist on TikTok, and he's one of the most followed accounts out there. And he's a dentist. And his TikTok name is The Bentist. His name is Ben. And all he does is do like dentist stuff, but he has a ton of followers.
Really?
So I mean, like, if you're creative and you're willing to put yourself on video, then you can absolutely gain new followers. Again, I think that Instagram probably for the real estate and the home industry is the best spot because you can still have your feed, you can still have IGTV, you can still have Instagram stories, you can have Reels now, and you can have Instagram Live. So there's 5 different ways that you can really try and reach new audiences and potential new customers just through Instagram. Especially if you're willing to get on video, I think that that's a great one to kind of go all in on. And it's owned by Facebook, so you can run ads through it, really specific and high performing ads through the Facebook Ads Manager that are only targeted towards Instagram users.
Nice.
Interesting.
So what you're saying is Marcus needs to partner up with like Ryobi or somebody.
Well, and I mean, like, and that's the thing too, is if you're willing, you have to be willing to give your, you have to be willing to put your face out there, especially in the home industry, because if you think about it, anything that typically home purchases are some of the highest purchases that you're ever going to make in your life, and you want to do business with someone that you know, like, and trust.
Right.
And if all they see is a logo or pictures of houses or anything like that, they're not going to resonate. Why would I choose you out of the hundreds of thousands of other realtors out there? So you have to find a way to connect with your audience, and give them a reason that you're the person to do business with, because referrals take you far in this industry, but they can only take you so far. And if you want to get some new clients and new leads, you have to attach a face to the brand, and you are the brand.
I think you're slowly chipping away at him, Katie. I think I see
bad.
the wall like slowly starting to crumble over here. So keep going.
I'm slouching in my chair because this is all stuff Natasha's like screaming at me for.
Yep. And Marcus is so resistant. He's like, I don't want my face out there. I don't want people to know me. And I was like, but you need to.
I know. Like, I get both sides of the coin. Like, you're completely right. And if I put my face out, it's more friendly. It's more inviting.
He's so handsome. Who wouldn't want to look at this face?
Stop. And then I look at the other side and I'm like, I just like
the anonymity.
I like being like close knit, and I like to have my small network of quote unquote like real life followers, like my friends and family. I don't know.
Well, that's what your personal Facebook page is for, and you have it as private, and nobody can connect with you with it. But then your business side is where you go there to talk business. I mean, and this is one of the things that too, like, oh, well, I don't even know what I would talk about. Like, so one of my coaching clients is a realtor in Denver here, and she's like, well, I don't know what I would talk about. And I was like, okay, well, you just have that new home you're going to be doing an open house for that new home this weekend. Go over to the house today, and I want you to get on video in front of the house and say, hey, guys, coming this weekend, be sure to check my feed on Friday to see this brand new home that's going to hit the market in Arvada on Friday. At this time, want more details? Shoot me a DM. And that's all she has to do in Instagram stories. She's putting her face out there. She's trying to tell people that stuff is coming. She's building excitement around it. And, that's one way to ease into getting comfortable on video. And so once you start, it's kind of like, oh, this is no big deal at all. And give people a way to find different ways to connect with you. Like, oh, wow, Katie loves coffee. I love coffee too. Wow, it's 3:30. Katie's drinking coffee. Really? I am too. So give people a way to connect with you, and stop thinking of you as just another business, to think of you as a person, as a friend. And so that way when you guys finally like meet or have that phone conversation or that face-to-face conversation, it feels like you guys already know so much about each other.
I was going to say, Marcus, you made me hop on this podcast for the first time, like when we first started this podcast. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? I can't do this. I'm so scared. I was sweating. I was so nervous. But now we do this podcast. We're 11, 12 episodes in. So if I can do something that's out of my comfort zone, you can do something that's out of your comfort zone.
No, I completely get that. And the best part about it is I didn't tell her that she was going to be the co-host until 10 minutes before our first episode. It was great.
Yeah, something like that.
And I know it's inspiring me. You're kind of giving me a kick to like do it. We're just starting on Monday, the new flip that we're doing. So
great. So you can go take a video.
Day one, I'll stand in front of the house and do my little like, hey, this is the start of a project.
Yay!
I'll send it to Natasha, and I'll look happy in the video.
You can just do Monday check-ins. Hey guys, happy Monday. Just checking in with our recent flip. Remember where we were last week? That nothing had happened. Now look, there's no walls, or whatever.
Oh, Katie, I love you. You are my best friend now. Marcus is sitting here shaking his head, just staring me down. Whoops.
No, and I know that it's powerful, and that's why I wanted to have you on, because I know that this world it's coming to all internet social media for good and bad. More good. And I got to get on board. I do.
Board?
On board.
Oh, on board, yes.
On board.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned, I want to go back a little bit. You had mentioned like connecting with influencers. And we get emails all the time about, hey, I saw your Instagram page or your Facebook page. We've got X amount of followers. Do you want to be featured on our website? Are those real for the most part?
Most of the time, no.
Okay, I figured no.
And I mean, like, a good way to tell is if they're real or not is if they follow you. Have they been liking your posts? Have they been commenting on them? If this is someone that just comes out of the woodwork, it's a scam. It's a spam. Just delete it. And just FYI, the blue verified badge on Facebook, Instagram, all that, they will not reach out to you to help you get it. The only way you're going to get that badge is if you have somebody else who is pretending to be you, and that's the only way you're going to get that blue badge. So do not ever, under any circumstances, give quote unquote Instagram your login info. They are not there to help you. And I see it so many times where people will lose the access to their account because some spammer has gone in and said, like, oh yeah, well, this is Instagram.co is the Instagram handle or something like that, and they'll be like, hey, yeah, we think you're ready for the blue verified badge. Just send us your login info and we'll activate it for you. And I've seen way too many clients and customers lose their access to their Instagram account, and they have to start back at square one.
No.
One friend that I know through a Facebook group, she lost her following of over 13,000 followers, and she had to start back at zero and recreate all of her posts and everything, which it just sucks. So just think of it too, like I said, Facebook, they'll tell you where they want you to spend their time, but they are not your friend. So don't expect Facebook or Instagram to send you an email or shoot your DM to try and help you.
There's no Tom on Facebook like there was on MySpace.
Right.
Man, I knew that there was something fishy with those, and I was like, I don't know why they'd reach out to do this. And I feel like anytime the first conversation is like talking about money and finance and an email out of the blue, I'm like, I don't believe it.
I'm always very skeptical of anybody that reaches out to me because most of the time nobody wants to talk to me.
Well, and the thing too is when you are just growing and starting out, check to see who the people are that are following you.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that they aren't just someone that's, selling Bitcoins or whatever, because make sure that they have a legitimate following of their own, that they're actually engaged. They've engaged with some of your posts before, because it's better to have 50 followers over 5,000 followers if those 50 people are advocates of you and your business and your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Those 50 people are always buying from you. They're always recommending you. They're always referring. They're always engaged with your posts. It's better to have those 50 than 5,000 that don't respond or don't answer or don't engage.
Yeah. So would you give a person who's starting out focus more on getting however many followers you have to engage rather than going out and trying to get people to follow? Probably the smarter path.
Don't worry about the followers.
Okay.
At all. Seriously, don't even look at your follower count. What you're going to look at is how are people engaging with you. Behind every post, you have to think, like, what kind of value am I bringing to the 50 people that do follow me? How is this going to help them or resonate with them? How are they going to be my business's biggest advocate? So, I mean, ask a question. See how many people at the end of your caption. Ask a question like, do you like white or dark cabinets in your kitchen? Comment below.
Yeah, we do this thing called Yay or Nay Wednesdays, or like I think we also do a Who Did It Better Sundays, which has been some of our favorite posts.
Yeah.
So that's been fun for us.
That's the stuff. If that's the stuff your audience likes and engages with, then keep pushing that stuff out there, because that's what. Again, social media is called social media for a reason. It's designed to be social. So talk to your audience and answer their questions when they comment on your post. And they say nay. Okay. Oh, why?
Yeah.
Why don't you like this? Follow it up with again. Start the conversation with your audience members and get them to be your biggest fans. So that way. They'll go out and tell their friends about you, and then their friends will want to follow you, and then those friends will want to follow you. So, I mean, It's still word of mouth marketing, but just on a digital platform.
That's true. I guess I never thought of it that way. It is word of mouth marketing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's how I always got the most customers for when I owned my previous business before this. That's how I got all of my customers, was just word of mouth. It was never any advertising. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, when you think about it, you find a post that's funny so for me, there's a chef that I follow. She's got, I struggle for meal planning terribly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great because she's like, I see her stuff and she's like, okay, do you have anything, do you have rosemary in your kitchen? No? Okay, how about parsley? This is what we're going to eat, how we're going to change this dish around. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's very easy to plan a meal now. And so I love her stuff because she provides so many different ways to cook a fast meal at home that's still a home-cooked meal without having to just throw in, a frozen pizza.
Right.
And I'm like, gosh, she's so great. I'm going to share this with my friend who's also a busy mom.
Right.
And now
makes it very attainable, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Who is it? I need to know.
I'll shoot you a message
awesome.
here after
Thank
we're
you.
done. Her name's Katerina, and she's based out of Michigan. She has a Facebook group too where she goes live and cooks something, and it's like, okay, well, we're gonna do this now, and she cooks a meal with you in like under 30 minutes, and it's fantastic.
Well, that's my middle name, so of course I'm gonna like it.
I got an idea for, you were saying something about like the engagement, worry about the engagement, or don't worry about the followers, and ask a question. I think that's what tipped my mind. This new house, we can pick out like 4 different cabinets and say, which one should we put in?
Yes.
Paint color, see which one our audience gets the most.
Oh my God,
for.
we can totally do. We can make it the Instagram
and use
house.
the carousel post. Make it a carousel.
This could be great, or this could go just bonkers.
Or you can just give me the paint options and I'll choose.
Well, I mean, like, so going off of that idea, you have the post, and you turn that post into a carousel on Instagram. So people are going to be spending more time swiping through all the different ideas. And then you're going to say, hey, comment below with your option. You're also going to have an Instagram story where you're on camera saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. And then you can have a poll/question sticker. Then the next slide can be like, check out our latest post, which then takes people to that post to vote on it. So again, spending even more time on Instagram on your content, and it's just going to, again, boost you up in the algorithm. You have the right hashtags. Instagram's going to say, people that already follow this page really, really like it. Let's start pushing it out to the hashtags that they're using. And then, again, it's just going to snowball and continue to grow.
When I go back and edit this podcast in a couple of days, I'm going to be sitting here taking notes on everything that you just said.
Man, this is like
I think Marcus's mind is blown.
a little bit.
Yeah.
The carousel thing makes total sense. You are good at what you do. I will say that.
I'm sitting here looking at him, and he's just like, it's like a blank stare. Like, I think everything's just kind of seeping into his brain right now.
It's just bouncing around up there. No, that is awesome. I've learned so much in just this little part. I'm kind of jealous of your clients that are getting this like day in, day out. I think
it's a lot of fun just seeing people kind of, because like I said, a lot of people are very standoffish from social media because they do want to keep their personal lives personal. But unfortunately, if you're an entrepreneur, you can't do it in your small business. You have to put a face behind the brand. Give people a reason to do business with a friend, or have the feeling that they're doing business with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the logo as your profile picture. Put your face out there so that way they see you all the time. It's great to see people that are, again, a little standoffish of social media really kind of learn how beneficial it can be in all the different ways that it can really maximize their potential reach and growth, and how they can find new customers and clients.
That's awesome. And I know we have to wrap it up here a little bit. I always get yelled at if the show goes over. But with all this stuff, just for our audience, I want our audience to know kind of what fields you work with, because if they hear stuff that they like and want to get in contact with you, like, we're going to leave all your contact information on the podcast so they can reach out to you as well. But is there kind of a niche that you work in, or is it any industry you can help out?
So for the done-for-you social media, my niche is the home industry. So contractors, realtors, home builders, home organizers, anything that has to do with some aspect of the house.
Okay.
That is what I offer my done-for-you services for.
How about
if you're looking just for coaching and learning how to grow, again, most of my clients, because I am in the home industry niche, are realtors, but I offer coaching to just about anyone, because that is one of the things that I love seeing, is when people do realize how beneficial it can be for them and how they can grow and gain these new clients and customers. And I've worked with authors, I've worked with financial advisors, I've worked with again, realtors, and just a political candidate. I worked with her and helped her, coach her on how to grow her presence, and she won, so that's even better. So I mean, anyone that's looking for coaching on how to do social media and have it work for their business, I offer my coaching services too. And I'm actually working on an online course that's kind of for anyone that a home edition right now that's just kind of looking to grow their online presence again, but don't have the wherewithal to sit down to do one-on-one coaching.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to get going on this. You've inspired me to put my foot into the water. I went from a toe to a foot. So
oh boy.
Big step.
Yeah.
No pun.
You know what though? I mean, like, once you start, the hardest part is starting.
Yeah.
It really is. The hardest part is starting, and then, like I said, if you just make the commitment to get on video once a week, especially for this fix and flip, that's going to be huge, because all you have to do is just give people a tour around of what you've done. It's not like you have to write a script for it. It's not like you have to have the lighting the right way. People are used to seeing people show up candidly in their social media feeds now. It doesn't always need to be professional. That's what YouTube's for.
Yeah, right. I love it.
True. Well, that is awesome. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Oh, wait. We have one question left. Do you have any DIY projects that you're working on? Or what has been your favorite DIY project?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, yeah. So right now we are in the middle of redoing our laundry room. We have a house that was built in the early 60s, so the laundry room had awesome popcorn ceiling with gold sparkles in it.
Oh, so jealous.
So my husband scraped the ceiling, and it's in the process of putting in some can lighting down there. We're going to put in a tile backsplash behind the washer and dryer to kind of give it a little bit of a farmhouse look and kind of try and brighten it up down there. Because right now it's just kind of like this laundry dungeon, and it's a perfect match for kind of what you would expect. Like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, how he's afraid of the furnace. That's kind of how our laundry room is right now. So we're trying to give it some new life.
Love it. That's so fun. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
We always ask people about their DIY projects, and it's amazing the amount of variety people get in what they like and don't like, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been one of the things with COVID and spending so much more time at home. It's like, let's just do it.
Right.
Yeah. Home Depot's been insane.
Yeah.
Like through this whole COVID thing, because everybody's doing their home projects because they've got so much time.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, cool. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for giving us your time and sharing your knowledge, and hopefully people listening to this can jump on and use some of those skills. And then obviously if they want to expand and go further, because I know you didn't unveil all your secrets. So
I did not.
For all those people that want to know more, because you left us with enough teasers.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
How can they get a hold of you? Because we want to make sure that they can get in contact with you.
Well, I do have a free video training available right now. If you just go to katiebrinkley.com. Again, it's a free video training on the 3 biggest mistakes that I see small businesses making with their social media and how to avoid them. That's Katie Brinkley, KatieBrinkley.com. And then if they want to get in touch with me, I'm, again, super active on LinkedIn, Katie Brinkley. I'm on Instagram at next.step.social. And check me out on my website, nextstepsocialcommunications.com.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. We'll make sure we include all that information in our show notes.
Awesome. Thanks again for having me, guys. This was fun.
Thank
No,
you.
it was a blast. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Oh, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, awesome.
Cool. Well, I always just kind of stop talking.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
And we can edit all this stuff out. But no, I really do appreciate it. That was so like enlightening. I don't know. That was like
I said, Marcus's mind is blown.
I know.
You.
Well,
I was hoping to
I
go.
made your job easier for you going forward.
I think you made
so that
my
you can get
job.
all that content that you've been wanting.
Yes, you made my job easier for sure.
I just hope I can write all this
Good.
down before it's out of my head.
Because
I'm gonna go
Well,
home
you
and
can
look at
listen
it.
to the
literally have it
podcast
on
afterwards,
here.
and it's all right there
There it
again for you.
No, but I've got things in my head that I was thinking about
I
that
got
I didn't
it.
share.
I'll
I gotta
get you
write
a
those
pen and
down.
a piece of paper.
I know, I need one.
All right.
But I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you soon,
Yeah, we'll
Katie.
talk to you soon.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, just send me a link when it's up and published, and I'll be sure to share it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.